Accra was the place chosen for the third summit meeting of the heads of state and government of the Organization of African Unity. And at Tema, Ghana's new deep-water port, President Kwame Nkrumah arrived to welcome one of his most distinguished guests, President William V.S. Tubman of the Republic of Liberia. Units of the Ghanaian Navy and Air Force had escorted the president's ship to harbor, and now cheers blended with the roar of the 21-gun salute. President Tubman is a welcome visitor in all the lands of Africa where freedom reigns, and his country is respected as the oldest of the continent's republics. A contingent of the Ghana Navy mounted the guard of honor, and President Tubman carried out the inspection, escorted by the parade commander and closely followed by his host. But the official greeting, warm though it was overshadowed by the popular acclaim as drummers, dancers, and the cheers of thousands welcomed the president to Ghana. One of the president's early engagements was at Accra's Freedom Fighters Monument. Here he paid tribute to those who had fought and died that Africa might be free. Without their sacrifice, conferences such as this could never have been held. And it is this fact which time will prove their most enduring monument. Accra is one of the most modern capital cities on the western coast of Africa. Ghana produces some 40% of the world's supply of cocoa, and Accra has become a center for the marketing of the crop. It's a place of busy streets and bustling people, where commerce, trade, and industry thrive, and where tall buildings point their fingers skywards as symbols of the progress of independent Africa. At the city's international airport, more delegates were soon arriving. Among them, President Gamal Abdel Nasser of the United Arab Republic. President Nkrumah was there to welcome the man who had been host of the second conference in Cairo. From Mauritania, a nation of 730,000 people, came His Excellency Mokhtar Ould Daddah. Next, a plane from Addis Ababa, where the Organization of African Unity had had its beginning. It brought two heads of state. First, His Imperial Majesty Haile Selassie I, Emperor of Ethiopia. With him was President Julius Nyerere of the Republic of Tanzania. The heads of delegations were to live and work in State House, and soon many private meetings and visits of courtesy were taking place. Dr. Hastings Banda of Malawi was an early caller at President Tubman's suite. Malawi became an independent nation in 1964 and is one of the countries of the British Commonwealth. October 21st now, and the opening of the conference. Much of the work of the assembly was to be done in secret session, but the press and photographers were allowed in for the first 2.5 hours. President Tubman received a tremendous welcome as he entered the hall. World attention was focused on Accra, for this was the time of Southern Rhodesia's impending declaration of independence. And the tension could be felt as President Nasser, in his capacity as chairman of the second conference, opened the third. And then, with the unanimous approval of the assembled delegates, he called on President Kwame Nkrumah of Ghana to take the chair. Dr. Nkrumah expressed his belief that Africa will be a bright star among the constellation of the nations. And then the speaker's rostrum was opened to the organization's newest member state, Gambia, represented by its Prime Minister, Dr. David Jawara. I am conscious, Dr. Jawara said, that membership of the organization cannot just be an honor and a privilege. It is also a challenge. President Tubman found little time for relaxation, but one evening he did go to a garden party in the grounds of his ambassador's residence. Here he was to meet many of his countrymen and women who are resident in Ghana, and it was a happy as well as a relaxed occasion. His presence among his own people greatly cheered them, for nationals living in other countries are as much ambassadors as those who enjoy the title and position. Addresses of welcome were read and gifts were presented. They will long be treasured among the president's family belongings. Yes, it was a happy evening, and one which brought renewed strength to the man whose declared purpose is to bring Africa into peaceful accord. On the evening of the second day, the press were again admitted to the conference to hear what everybody in the world wanted to know: the views of Africa on Africa's present problem, the situation in southern Rhodesia. President Tubman was to read the prepared statement, a tribute to the respect in which he is held all over the great continent and indeed throughout the world. The United Kingdom were asked to suspend the Constitution using armed force if necessary, and the United Nations to treat a unilateral declaration of independence as a threat to world peace. Africa had spoken with the voice of unity. Unity was a theme very much to the fore later that night when delegates attended a military tattoo in the sports stadium staged by the Ghana Army and the Pioneers. Army motorcyclists entertained. In a mechanized age, the cavalry was not forgotten, and not a ring was missed. Every item on the program brought a fresh demonstration of skill. These gymnasts were from the Pioneers. And there was comedy provided by a real fire-eating dragon. The tattoo was a pleasant diversion from the affairs of state, but it was not possible to leave every care behind in the thrill of martial music. While the conference debated in secret, many more personal visits were made. Among them, the meeting between the President and His Imperial Majesty, the Emperor of Ethiopia. These two men are the leaders of the two oldest independent nations of Africa, and on their balanced judgment and wise counsel, much depends. President Tubman also found time to attend a reception at the Liberian Embassy, which was given in his honor. And once again, among his own people and among his country's friends, he found happiness and relaxation from the tremendous cares of conference. Agreed statements had been made public on the two big questions facing the continent: southern Rhodesia and the subversion from within. It was a time for Africa to celebrate with fireworks. So, as the conference drew to its end, President Tubman left Accra. He, of all the delegates, had done all that any man could do to advance the united efforts for peace and freedom among the peoples of the continent he is proud to call his home. He left by air, and again he was accorded all the rightful courtesies needful for a visiting head of state. President Nkrumah's own Guard regiment were on parade to wish the Liberian visitor Godspeed on his journey home. The success of the conference could not be in doubt. The united views of the whole free continent had been placed before the world. In the future lay many more developments, among them the expected unilateral declaration of independence by Southern Rhodesia, and the steps taken by the United Kingdom to prevent the imposition of minority rule. Discussions were held in Lagos, and indeed in all of the world's capitals, to deal with the inflammatory situation. And as he flew away, the hopes of everybody went with the president, hopes that sense and experience would prevail, and that the people of Africa would be spared the horrors of war, and that freedom and the right to live their own lives would soon be theirs.